God, cats sleep in the weirdest freaking positions. Anyway, we got a hell of a fun match over here. He's got Gengar, I got a Zelf. I kind of want a Psychic because super effective, but I'm afraid he'll be Sash. I'm afraid he'll predict that I'll SR. So just in case, I'm going to U-turn the hell out. That way, whether he stays in or switches, I will have an advantage. In comes a Snorlax, and I realize I have no fighting moves on this team. I kind of grabbed 6 guys that I really like and I think are really good, but that doesn't mean they work well together. So I go out to my hardest hitting physical guy and throw a mash in his face. That's really all I can do. I don't want to try and predict too early and go with the Rock Polish. That's right. Who uses Agiligros when you can use Rock Polish? It's so much cooler. And then I get the uber rare attack raise for me. I think I've only had an attack raise on the thing like 3 times ever, and I'm not sure I've ever gotten a chance to take advantage of it. So at least now I know that as long as it hits, this thing is dead, and whatever the hell comes in if he wants to switch is going to take a huge hit. It is going to be Zapdos, and hilariously, of course, I do miss. Unfortunately, I don't have Ice Punch, and I don't want to waste my attack raise. So I knew I would survive one Heat Wave, but I figure, you know what? I'm just going to blow up, kill the Zapdos, use my attack raise so it wasn't, worthless hacks. At least give me the benefit of getting it. And you know what? Taking down a Zapdos like that, that's never a bad thing, especially so early. Now I don't have to worry about if it's a sweeping set or if it's a Toxic Stall Roost thing. I don't have to worry about it, so that's really good. Anyway, I go back to my lead because it's so early. I haven't seen anything of his. And I didn't think he would go to Lax. Usually you go to like a sweeper or at least something at full hit points. You don't go into a really slow wall that's, 2/3 dead. So I was stunned when that happened. I knew I couldn't kill, but I figured he would, I don't know. I kind of went for it. I didn't want to just U-turn out. Unfortunately, I'm Scarfed, and I know that once that thing gets a couple of curses up, I have no fighting moves. My only chance is to blow up on it. So I had to get some damage just in case, and this is bad. At least he wasn't Chesto, thank God. But in this scenario, I'm pretty sure he's going to switch out, so I'm thinking I could sub, but then I lose 25% of my hit points and I don't get them back, and I don't really want to go with that. I could just straight up Dragon Dance, but I know he's going to predict it. I didn't know if this Gengar was Scarfed or not, so I figured if he predicts a Dragon Dance and switches to Gengar, he'll still be faster than me if I dance up. So I just went straight for Waterfall, plus I figured if his Snorlax does stay in, I'll get a little bit of damage up, and then I'll just start dancing because he seems content to stay. So unfortunately, I left him with just barely enough to still get a sub because that stupid Gyarados is jolly. I got him in a trade, and I don't like Jolly Gira, but he's jolly. And of course, it let him get a freaking sub as opposed to having him be worthless. So I went over to Dusknoir just in case he didn't have enough to make a sub. I kind of figured he would use like Pain Split or something. Maybe Explosion, I don't know. But at least I knew that regardless of what he does, I will 2-hit KO with Shadow Sneak. And here, I expect him to go back to Snorlax to evade the Ghost move. So I'm going to switch out as well. Blissey isn't exactly the best thing to deal with Snorlax, but I wanted to get up Stealth Rock, assuming that if he switched, he wouldn't have had that turn of leftovers, and then Stealth Rock would kill him. I was hoping that by using Gabbana instead of Minerva that he wouldn't know what type of Bliss it was, and I'd get free Stealth Rock. But unfortunately, it didn't work out that way. So I go back to Noir because... Oh, I was afraid of Explosion at that point. Since he didn't switch, I didn't exactly want to go for Stealth Rock while he blew up in my Blissey's face. He still had 3 other guys unseen, so I figured I want to keep Bliss just or hanging around just in case. I knew he was going to set something up, and I wanted to take advantage of that turn, but I also needed Dusknoir to get his HP back up there, so Pain Split allows him to take another Gengar Shadow Ball should he need be, and I figured he would keep setting stuff up, but he didn't, so now my Starmie out here is worthless. I would love to Rapid Spin, which is what he's predicting. My Gira, however, is sub Flail, so I don't care too much about Stealth Rock. And again, the Azelf isn't Sash, it's Scarf. So I'm not, it's not the biggest deal in the world. And as long as I can go to Starmie fairly early, since I know his Gengar is not Scarfed as well, I will be faster than that. I will be able to take his Fortress. So I know Starmie's still going to be pretty good to go. And I know that right here, my only chance to kill this thing is to blow up on it, like pretty much. But I figured he would expect that, the fact that I didn't do anything with Psychic earlier and had to switch out, and now I'm switching into it when it's at full life, I thought it was obvious. So I U-turned out just in case, knowing that whether I go to Bliss or Dusk Noir, depending on what his moveset is, don't care, that if he doesn't switch, I knew I had to go immediately right back to Azelf, and I'm going to have to blow up next turn, absolutely regardless. I'm doing a little bit of a calc right here because that hurt more than I thought it would. So I just want to make sure that Azelf will survive a return herself, and that plus Stealth Rock won't kill it, and I will be able to blow up, which I do. And then he switches to Fire Punch anyway, so it's moot. But to me, exploding right now is the most obvious thing in the world, but I have to do it. I guess he doesn't predict the same thing that's going through my head, thankfully. I wouldn't have had a problem taking out Fortress if it did in fact come in for the explosion. I would just probably bring in Starmie or probably Gyarados at that point. But I would have known that the only thing I could have done would be dance up a couple of times and then start falling him in the face trying to flinch hacks it. So I know Starmie is faster. I'm just going to kill his Gengar. No, nothing there even to think about whatsoever. And I go with T-Bolt just because he doesn't know what my item is just yet. He goes to a Dragonite, and I'm thinking, well, he could be Scarfed. He might be able to do something. He might be like a Yacht or whatever and be able to take the Ice Beam. He probably doesn't even know that I can switch moves right now and is trying to bank on that. So I felt pretty safe, and I was like, you know what? My Dusknoir has Ice Punch, so I'm going to call his bluff, stay in an Ice Beam, and finish that thing off. And at this point, all he's got left, I believe, is Fortress. Oh, no, this thing, Slowbro. Again, Thunderbolt should be able to 2-hit KO. If not, I don't really care. I mean, Subflail Gyro will be able to get there with Flail, especially because I'll be able to dance up at least a couple of dances. I don't think Dusknoir really fears it that much. I don't know. No need to spin, so I'm just going to keep bolting this thing, and that's going to leave only a Fortress left, which obviously I can take out no problem with Sand-Dollar. So I was a little Norin the Wary. Ah, that was quick. I thought that would be there longer. I was a little Norin the Wary a couple of times during this match, but I'm able to pull it out with my only deaths being exploding guys. So, hey, that works out well for me. So, good game, Hummus. Thanks for playing. And question of the day, I guess. If any of you guys do play Magic, would you be willing to watch some Magic 2012 on Xbox of me? I do play with ZMT and TSP, so it might be interesting. Let me know. Thanks. Peace.